Yo, what's up? I'm going to be showing you how I work front view, side view, and three-quarter view. We're going to start with front view. So then we're going to start with drawing a circle. You have to make it perfect. You just have to get the idea of the circle, and then you cut the circle in half, straight down and dash, and then you're going to try forming your face, the length of face you want. Just anyhow you want it, just try doing the length of the face, and then the top of the circle is not going to form the top of the head, and you can see it's giving a normal face look just like that. So now this is the measurement is going to stand. It's not really that hard, just easy stuff. You're just going to mark from the top of the head to the bottom of the face and mark that in half, and that half point is going to be where your eyes will be, typically where your eyes are going to be. So now you're just going to try making the eyes equal on both sides, and just know that one eye is the distance between the eye is one eye apart. So that is something you should have in mind also. And then the top line should be for your eyebrow, but it's always something that you can adjust based on how you want it. And then you're going to measure half of from the eye line to the bottom of the face, and then that is going to be your nose. It's going to be where your nose is going to be, and then just right there, like at that almost half or something like that, is where you're going to put your mouth, and just like that. Okay, we have almost finished that, but then you're going to measure from the nose, okay, from the bottom of the face to the nose to the eye. You see that they have the same length or similar length, and then with the eyebrow too is similar length. So you're going to measure another one of similar length just on top it and measure that. And if you think that's going to be your hairline, then you're wrong, because that's actually the hairline, but that's not the point. But you just have to do that, and then the ears are going to be from the eyes to the nose. And again, it's always something that you can adjust based on how you want it. Then you just put in your shadings, and yeah, actually done with that. But then, just in case like you do a smaller face, and this is how it's going to be. Still going to do the same lines, but this time a smaller face. You can see that it's not really going to be that different, because we're still going to do the same thing from the top of the head to the bottom of the face. Mark that in half, and then you put your eyes, and then you get to mark that in half again and put your nose and your mouth just right below, and then you get to put your eyebrows at the top where the circle, that the line at the center of the circle. And then after that, you're going to measure these equal parts again, and you're going to see the difference now. From you see that the eyebrow is not really the same length again, but this time you're going to be having four points, and that is just the difference. So it just depends on the size of face that you're doing. When you get the general idea of the measurement of an actual face, you can just bend it out, tweak it the way you want. So it's not really that you should be bound to something. You should just know how to tweak it at the right time, so just something like that. But then from that, we move over to the side view. The side view is technically not that different. You're going to do a circle, you put your center line of the circle down, and then you're going to put, and then you're going to measure the length of your face, but from the side this time. Just put like a straight line down and then up, just like that. And then you're going to measure, okay, the same measurements of the face. Now you're going to put it on this one, from the top of the head to the bottom of the face, and then half of that, that's where your eyes are going to be. Still same thing for the face and for the side view. And then I just put circles so I don't know what I'm doing. And then you're going to put the length of the nose. You just have to mark that first. So if there is a half, and then you're going to put the length of the nose. It's just like a triangle from the eyes. But okay, you're going to do that. Just like a triangle from the line of the eye to the bottom of the face, as the chin. And then you're going to now curve that. You're going to put a little more detail. You curve that, you go down a little lower than the actual guideline, and then you're going to know where the mouth sits as a line, and then you just curve it and come out a bit, and yeah, formed a mouth, I guess, something like that. And then from the measurements before, you see that is equal parts again, but this time it's still 4. That's where your hairline is going to be. And then you just form the eyes, and then I'm going to do that smooth hairline again, and then the neck, and then after that you're not going to do that smooth head. And that's actually it for side view. Also, remember, you can always tweak it. And yeah, you can always add your stuff. But then now we go to my favorite, the 3/4 view that I don't still, I still struggle with. But here we go. I'm going to start with the circle again, and then I measure half of that circle. Like, you're going to find the 3/4 of that, so you're going to measure half of the half, something like that, and try to curve it, because your head is not flat, it is curved. It's going to be something like that. You just curve it down, and then you're just going to make it simplistic at first. So you're going to just put like a straight line down and dash it to the center. That is the center of the center line. That is the center of the 3/4 view. You understand? And that is going to be the side of the face. But then the jaw, you're not going to just slant it up. You just keep it natural. Just try keeping it natural. It's something that you eventually get to understand when you have practiced it some time. Like, you won't really need these guidelines again, but then this is what I do, so I understand it a bit more. But then still the same measurements as before. You measure half from the top of the head to the bottom of the face. You measure half of that, and that is going to be where the eye is. And then you need to measure the eyes. Remember, the eye closer to us is going to be bigger, and the one farther away from us, and the one farther away from us is going to be more narrow, and the one closer to us. And then you're just going to form, okay, the eyebrow and then the nose, right somewhere there. That is the halfway between the eye and the bottom of the, and then we're going to put in more detail, like putting it deep in the eye, bringing it out for the cheekbone, and then bringing it back in for that sharp jaw, or for the sharp chin. Okay, now I'm going to measure this same stuff for the hairline 4 ways, and the hairline is not going to be straight like the others. It's going to be a little bit curved, because of the circle. Yeah, that is a smooth hairline. Then put your ears and then your neck and shoulders, and I think that's it. Then you still get to put down your smooth head, and I think that's it. But then an even simpler way to understand the 3/4 view is putting it in the most simplistic way ever. You're just doing two eyes, one bigger than the other, just basic, one bigger than the other, and then just try, okay, put in the center, and then put in like this, a dash down, a dash into the center, and then a dash out further away from the closer eye, and then your nose, your mouth, and then your eyebrow, and then you put in that smooth head, and you see how it looks, and then from there you can tweak it to make it more natural, to make it look like an actual 3/4 view. And I think that's it for this video, and I hope you actually and I hope this actually help you learn how to do front view, side view, 3/4 view. So then just have fun with it and keep on practicing. Thanks. Bye.